Guys, we're so excited. We are here, Rhythm Night online graduation. We're celebrating all the seniors and people who are graduating from middle school to high school, people who are graduating out of quarantine, setting new disciplines, new patterns, and new routines. And so for the moment we've all been waiting for, I want you to give it up for the man, the myth, the legend, Pastor Robert Madu.
Thank you, Tim, so much for that introduction. First of all, to the incredible, unstoppable, undefeated, resilient class of 2020. Let me first say a huge congratulations on your accomplishment in graduating. I know this is not the way you picture your graduation happening. For so many of you, things have been canceled. But let me say tonight on this Rhythm Night, here's what's not going to be canceled, and that is us taking a moment to celebrate you. So y'all, let me get official real quick. Hold up. Let me get official. Wait a second. Hold up. Now we official up in here, class of 2020. I need you wherever you are to turn up and let's take a moment to celebrate you right where you are. Hey, come on. Hey, Y'all better make some noise. Woo. Hey, in your living room. Let's go. What? Okay. I had to get that out and make sure that we take a moment to celebrate you. When Pastor Tim called me and said, would you do a graduation speech? I said, absolutely. And if I was at one of your schools, I would give you a graduation speech. But since this is Rhythm Night and I'm an Elevation Youth, is it all right if I give you a graduation preach? I want to give you a graduation preach. And since I'm going to give you a graduation preach, I need you to understand, class of 2020, that your class is actually in the Bible. Your class is in the Bible. In Mark chapter 8, verses 22 through 26, it says, they arrived at Bethsaida. Some people brought a sightless man and begged Jesus to give him a healing touch. Taking him by the hand, he led him out of the village. He put spit in the man's eyes. And then he laid hands on him and asked, do you see anything? He looked up. I see men. They look like walking trees. So Jesus laid hands on his eyes again. The man looked hard and realized that he had recovered perfect sight, saw everything in bright 2020 focus. 2020 focus. I want to title this commencement preach, I want you to fail. I want you to fail. I'm fully aware that my title, graduates, is a bit confusing because you're wondering how in the world in a time like this could I be giving you a commencement preach entitled, I want you to fail. We are living in challenging and uncertain times. So how is it that my word of encouragement to the class of 2020 is I want you to fail? Perhaps you're thinking, Robert, you missed it with this message. Shouldn't you be telling us a message that's entitled, hold on, don't give up, keep going, Corona can't stop us, it's gonna be okay? What do you mean you want us to fail? You're thinking, Robert, come on, hadn't our class been through enough? You started off your graduating year with so much excitement, didn't you? Your senior photos, your class rings, you ordered your cap and gown. For 4 years, you studied. You took the test, you took the quiz, you wrote the papers, you worked hard, went to class, went to chemistry and math. You made all kinds of memories that were supposed to culminate into a moment. That moment that every senior for centuries has looked forward to, where you walk across the stage, your name is called, your family screams, you do your dance or whatever you had planned. It was supposed to be your moment to be seen. And now all of that was stripped away because of a virus that can't be seen and that nobody saw coming. And even with all that, hear me, class of 2020, my message to you is still the same. I want you to fail. And the reason that I so desperately want you to fail is because I so desperately want you to succeed. Hear me, believe it or not, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the price tag for success. And God has a unique way of using failure, disappointment, rejection, detours, and the unexpected to prepare you for what he's going to do through you. I'm telling you, the things in your life that feels like it's a failure, it is actually a gift. C.S. Lewis said that failures are finger posts on the road to achievement. Winston Churchill said success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Napoleon said every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. The hip hop theologian Big Sean said, last night I took an L, but tonight I'll bounce back. The class of 2020, you are the class of the bounce back. And what many people don't understand about you is that you were born into tragedy, because many of you were born post 9/11. And now you're graduating in the midst of COVID-19. So hear me, you were born into and you're graduating in a season where the world seems dark. So can you relate to this graduate in Mark chapter 8 who is completely blind and he encounters Jesus? Can you relate to this blind graduate? Because come on, people keep asking you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And you want to tell them, I can't even see my next step right now because everything seems so dark. When you're blind, you're vulnerable because void of your vision, hear me, you are susceptible to the voices around you. People that cannot see have to rely on the voices of the people that are around them. So can I tell you, graduates and everybody watching online, in this season and all of your life, it is imperative that you have the right voices around you, because the voices around you will affect your vision. Make sure you have voices around you that are going to speak to the purpose, the call, and the destiny that God has over your life. I'll never forget, before my senior year, I thought I was going to go to Hollywood and be an actor. I said, I look like Denzel, I may as well act like him. Now I'm playing. But I had a youth pastor who heard me do a Bible study and said, Robert, you have a gift to preach the gospel. God's going to use you to preach. I'm telling you, voices affect your vision. This blind man, he encounters Jesus, and I love it because one of the only times in the Gospels it seems like Jesus failed. He messed up a miracle, because watch this. He touches the dude's eyes, then he spits in his eyes. Not social distancing, that's social spitting. Spits in the man's eyes. And you would have thought that just from touching him, and surely from the spit, this man would have ran around jumping and screaming like he was healed, but that didn't happen. Jesus spits in his eyes. He touches him. And then he asks him a question, graduates, that I want you to hear. He says, do you see anything? Do you see anything? Watch this. Jesus failed the first time on purpose, and then asked a question to see if this graduate was going to be honest about where he was and what he could see. He failed on purpose, because you know our God will never fail, but he didn't heal him with the first touch or the spit because he wanted to see, would that graduate be honest about where he was and what he couldn't see. And this graduate says, Lord, I see people, but they look like trees. In other words, Jesus, it didn't work, and the future doesn't look clear. God wanted to know, would he be honest about where he was? Can I tell you, graduates, it's all right for you to be upset. It's all right for you to be mad because you already had your boo that you were going to take to prom. It's all right for you to be upset that you didn't get to score that winning touchdown and so much of your senior year was wrecked. But can I tell you, in your being upset, just be honest and don't stop talking to God about how you feel. He wants to hear from you. He wants to know if you'll be honest, and he can handle your honesty as long as you keep talking to him. And because that graduate was honest about what he couldn't see, he got a second touch from Jesus. And when Jesus touched him the second time, all of a sudden his vision was completely restored and he got 20/20 focus. Can I tell you, it's all right for you to fail, but don't you lose your focus. It's all right for you to be mad, but don't lose your focus. It's all right for you to fail, but keep your focus on Jesus. I'm going over my time, but can I close with this story? I'll never forget my baby sister. She used to do dance recitals, and I would take her to her ballet dance recitals. And I'll never forget when she had practice one time, I watched my baby sister spin around with what seemed like 1,000 times. I think they call it a pirouette. And I said, girl, how in the world do you keep spinning like that and you don't get dizzy? Aren't you afraid you're going to fall down? She said, no, I'm not worried about falling down. I go, well, how do you keep your focus when you're spinning around like that? She goes, brother, it's easy. All I have to do is find my spot. I said, your spot? She said, yeah, my spot. She said, you find your spot in the room, something that is solid, something that is stationary, something that will not move. And as long as you fix your eyes on the spot, it doesn't matter how many times you're spinning around, you just keep coming back to the spot. And that is what holds you. Can I tell you, graduates, I know it seems like in this pandemic that everything is spinning and the world is going crazy, but I came to tell you, don't you lose your spot. Keep your eyes fixed and focused on Jesus, on who he is, because he will never change. He cannot be moved. Come on, he knew you had a purpose before this pandemic. Keep your eyes fixed and focused on him, because even if you fail, it doesn't matter if you fail if you keep your focus on him. Class of 2020, I love you. I believe in you. I want you to fail because I know that failure is the price tag for the success and the thing that God is going to do in you, because you can fail as long as your focus is on him. Can I pray for you guys? Would you bow your heads? I see some of you amazing graduates even right now on the screen. You look incredible. And I just want to pray over you and everybody who's watching. Father, thank you for this rhythm night. Father, thank you for Elevation Church. Thank you for Elevation Youth. God, I thank you that before any of this broke out, before there was a global pandemic, you have always been and will always be in control. God, I thank you for every student that's watching this. Lord, that they had a call before this virus. They had a purpose before this, and you will make sure that that purpose comes to pass. Lord, I pray that you would be their peace in the middle of fear. God, that you would be their strength in the middle of anxiety. God, I pray that they would feel your presence like never before, and they will trust that you are going to get them to the place that you've already prepared for them. Father, our hope, our trust is in you, Jesus. Thank you for the opportunity to speak into the lives of these world changers, the class of 2020. In Jesus' name, amen.
We believe in the youth. We hope you enjoyed that video. Honestly, we create content like this just for you. And whether you're engaging with your friends and your family, or whether it's just with the comments below, we would love for you to continue to do that. Make sure you subscribe, click that bell for notifications, and we hope to see you at the next video. Love you.